Today on Prime Take, we are speaking to West Ham United striker Michail Antonio. Michail, welcome to Ghana.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm not too bad.
I hope you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've gone out a couple places, had some food and stuff. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Kudus said you were going to enjoy.
Yes, he did. He said I'll enjoy it with him more. So next time I come, I'll make sure he's around.
But he's around currently for international football.
But he's playing Angola, so he's in Angola right now.
So he's quite busy, isn't he?
Yes,
yeah.
So he's playing international football. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm leaving today as well to go play for Jamaica. So I managed to have a couple of days here, and then I'm back to work.
Well, what brings you to Ghana?
So I have my football academy. This is why we're here right now. They're playing. I feel like there's so much untapped talent in Ghana, in Africa, and like me, I didn't feel there was much opportunity for me when I was growing up. So I'm hoping to give the Ghanaian players an opportunity to showcase their abilities and make their way to the Premier League or other clubs across Europe.
Do you have other academies worldwide? Because someone would ask, what would influence the decision of a Jamaican international to have an academy in Ghana?
I have an academy in South London, and I also got the academy here. I chose Ghana because my agent's Ghanaian. I feel like there's an untapped, like I just said, an untapped talent here.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's just so much players, so much people who have the skills, have the quality, but just don't have the representation, don't have the opportunity to showcase their abilities. So this is why I've done it. And obviously with Ghana and Jamaica, they got their partnership with their visas and stuff like that. So I thought it was easier for me to get here with my Jamaican passport. And like everyone says, Ghanaians and Jamaicans are alike.
And you mentioned something quite interesting for me. Your agent is a Ghanaian, so you feel like doing something in Ghana. But if you take a look at what you have witnessed so far, has it given you some sort of encouragement?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. We've had 2 tournaments so far, and in each tournament we've had clubs take our players on trials. We've had players being linked to clubs. They've not officially signed yet, but a couple players have signed for clubs. So we are doing okay. Obviously, the building's not done, the football pitches are not done yet at our academy, but they're not far off being finished. So we know that there's untapped quality. We know that Ghanaians and African players are pulling through right now and becoming one of the best players in the world. So why not? Why wouldn't I put up an academy in Ghana?
It is one thing setting up an academy, it's another thing creating a pathway for the talent to succeed. Do you have something like that?
Yes, 100%. Obviously, I'm not doing this on my own. I have shares in it. My agent has majority shares in it, and there's another one called Tony Appiah. He has shares in it. But it's not just us 3 who's doing it. There's also Freddie. Freddie is our technical director, and he's controlling how the day-to-days and ins and outs are going. Obviously, he helped us win the tournament. When was it? Well, he helped us win the tournament, the last tournament. And in that tournament, we had other players get scouted again. So it's just, we've chosen to do this because we know that it's untapped quality. We know that these players just need the opportunity for them to showcase their qualities. And then we know that they've got the qualities to make it in the Premier League, to make it in Europe. So it's just giving these players the opportunity.
Giving these players an opportunity. In the early phase of the conversation, you mentioned about giving talents opportunity, right? I would like to understand, in your early beginnings, how was it like? Did people also create opportunities for you like this? How would you describe those early days?
In my early days, I didn't really play football much growing up, so I didn't get the opportunities to play. I used to just play in the back garden or play with my friends at the park. But then, as I was getting older, I didn't get opportunities to really showcase my stuff to academies. So I was really just playing with the school. And then if you didn't get scouted at school, then you didn't get the opportunity. So I also played community football, but when you're playing community football, it was like Fulham, Chelsea kicks.
Yeah.
I did that, but you're there. You might have the title Chelsea, you might have the title Fulham, but these community football foundations, they weren't actually scouting any players. They weren't actually taking players from the foundations into the academies. So I didn't really get the opportunity to showcase myself to the actual academies, even though I was at Fulham Community, even though I was at Chelsea Kicks. So that's why we're doing this academy, so we can literally bring the clubs to the players. Like the last camp we had Chelsea, we had Anderlecht, we had a few other teams from Belgium.
Was that
I think
Celta?
another one, Celta.
Yes.
Yes. So we had a few clubs come down, and these are the head scouts. These are not just people who have to report to somebody else.
Yeah.
These were head scouts who are there, and if they actually make decisions whether they can bring a player in or not. And so we're giving these players opportunities to be sat bang in front of decision makers.
What you're saying, Klaus, suggests that your early beginnings were not that rosy. It kind of meant that this was a gentleman who needed to do it the hard way.
It wasn't easy, but I wouldn't say it was harder than coming through an academy, because when you're in the academy, you're already in the door, but there's 40 other players in there. Most academies, only 2 or 3 players actually get a pro contract. So I won't actually say it was harder for me, but it was difficult because I wasn't. When you're in the academy, you're there. They see you, you can show, you can shine. Whereas when you're not in the academy, no one knows who you are. So you are not seen. It's very difficult for you to break through because they have 40 players already there. They have 40 players who have qualities. They have 40 players who they believe are better than you already. So for you to go in there and showcase what you can do is very hard.
See, okay, so how would you describe that very moment that you were given an opportunity to play football at topmost level, considering your journey?
When I signed for Reading, because Reading was the first club I played for, I went on trial to Millwall. Millwall offered me a contract. But obviously I had another trial at Reading at the time, so I went to Reading on a three-day trial as well. When I woke up the night before on the Thursday, I couldn't sleep when they offered me that contract because that's where I wanted to be, that's where I wanted to play championship football. I've always believed in myself, I always believed that I was good enough to play. It's just getting that opportunity.
And the opportunity finally came. Who gave you that opportunity?
The opportunity? I went out on loan. I went out on loan 4 or 5 times when I signed the contract at Reading. I went to Cheltenham, I went to Sheffield Wednesday, I went to Colchester. Let me not forget anybody. Cheltenham.
If you forget, they'll go.
Southampton.
Yeah.
Southampton.
Oh, Southampton, yeah.
Yes.
Because
so,
we contributed to your growth, and you've forgotten about that?
Yeah. So, and the craziest thing is, Southampton probably is my biggest loan because that was the season I played 37 games, got 7 goals. I think I got 7 assists. 7 goals, 7 assists, played at Wembley, scored at Wembley. Like, that was the season that kind of got me the breakthrough and got me the opportunity so people can see my actual skills.
Is it special to score at Wembley? You just mentioned scoring and played at Wembley and scored at Wembley. Is it
100%.
Special?
There were 75,000 people there. Scoring a goal in front of 75,000 people was unbelievable.
So, in terms of how your career has panned out so far, right? If you were to advise your younger self, what would you have done differently?
Ooh. The craziest thing is, I made a lot of mistakes in my career, a lot of mistakes. But I feel like every mistake I made kind of shaped me into the player that I am, kind of shaped me into the person that I am. So I'm not too sure if I would actually change anything because I feel if you change one thing, that might change the whole outcome of your future. So I feel like every mistake you make kind of makes you the person that you are.
What were the mistakes you made?
Oh, can't say that on TV.
Just one.
Just one.
One that you can say on TV.
Just one. Obviously, I was a lot younger. I decided to go out on a Thursday night, get drunk, come into training on a Friday, and my manager decided that he wanted to play me that weekend, smelled the alcohol on my breath, and dropped me for 3 months.
For 3 months?
3 months. He said he couldn't trust me to play again.
How did that affect you?
To be honest, it affected me. It was very frustrating. Obviously, it was my fault. Obviously, when you're younger, you blame other people. You don't blame yourself. So I was like, I kept saying, oh, I can't believe he's doing this to me. I can't believe he's doing this to me. But at the end of the day, I did it to myself. But as time was going by, there was loads of opportunities for me to play. But he kept saying that he didn't trust me. But then he also wasn't sending me out on loan. So he was kind of blocking me because he was very frustrated with me. But he also believed in me. And I disappointed him, so that's why he was punishing me.
Was that meant to discipline you?
It was definitely to discipline me. And it definitely helped me because I never made that same mistake again.
So since then, you've not taken alcohol?
Like I said, every mistake shapes your future.
So now you have some level of fear when it comes to alcohol, is it? Or you still drink?
I don't have fear when it comes to alcohol. Obviously, one thing.
But there's a limit to it, isn't it?
There's a limit to it. There's times when to do it and there's times when not to. I also believe in enjoying your life. Like there's times to work and there's times to play. And I feel getting that right balance gives you a good quality of life.
What is that one thing that many people don't know about you?
The one thing that many people don't know about me. To be fair, I'm quite an open book. I don't really hide much about myself,
yes.
Especially on my podcast. I kind of relay everything out there. I kind of told everybody who I am and what I like to do. So there's nothing I really hide.
You tell us what you want us to hear.
I don't ever, no. One thing you know about me and my agent, he tells me off all the time. He's like, do not say these things. Why do you need to say these things? I'm an open book. I say what I need to say and I believe in what I say. If I say it, I mean it. And that's what stresses him out and that's what he doesn't like. But at the end of the day, I believe in everything I say. So I'm not lying. I'm going to tell you the truth.
So how did it feel to have finally had your breakthrough to play in the Premier League?
It was a bit of a roller coaster ride, to be fair, because I came on for 10 minutes against Man City, left wing, but ended up playing left back because they were all over us. We were winning 1-0. And I didn't play again for another 3-4 months. I was just sat on the bench. The manager didn't give me opportunity and I had to wait and bide my time. So I thought I've made it. I thought it was quality. I thought I'm now a Premier League player. But one thing has always been difficult and one thing that's always happened to me in my career is there was always a shock to the system. There's always a stage where you need to be better. There's always a stage where you need to prove yourself again. And that's what's happened to me my whole entire career.
What was that to suggest? Or you felt undervalued by your manager?
I wouldn't say I felt undervalued. I wouldn't say I felt undervalued. I just felt like
But there were moments you got frustrated by that?
Yeah, 100%. Every player thinks that they're the best player. Every single player thinks they are the best player. Every single player thinks that they deserve to play.
How did you recover from these?
How do I cover? Because one thing in me is I always believed in myself. I always believe that I'm quality. I always believe that I can do a job. And that's what all players believe. And that's how you become an elite player, by believing in yourself, by saying that you're one of the best, by saying these people are not better than me, I can go out there and do that job. The day you start doubting yourself is the day that everyone takes that step ahead of you.
But have there also been moments where you feel your managers never treated you right?
Well, in football, there's always moments like that. Like I said, every single player believes that they should be starting. Every single player believes that they are the best player. So when they are not playing you, you feel like you shouldn't be playing. When they're not playing, you feel like you should be playing. But there's also times where you are doing well and the manager drops you. There's times where you're not doing well and the manager plays you. So it is very confusing, football life and the politics of it. It's very confusing. But it's one of the things with football is I've loved it since a child. I've always enjoyed every single moment of it, and I'm still enjoying it now.
Your highest moment, which 3 moments would you describe that these were the moments that were the defining moments of my life?
Ooh, that's a great question. All right, first one is becoming professional, signing that professional contract at Reading. Second one, I would say getting an England call up. Even though I didn't play, getting an England call up kind of like put my name out there, made people notice me more. And third, I would say becoming West Ham all-time goal scorer.
Yeah, I was expecting that one.
Yeah.
I was expecting that one because when I was going through the list, I would have been completely surprised if you had not mentioned that West Ham angle. This sort of suggests that you've really had fun at West Ham United, because I was going through your numbers; they were crazy. Played about 373 Premier League games at West Ham United. If the figures I came across are anything to go by.
I don't know the figures, but it'll be around that. I've been there, it's my 10th season now. Obviously, all-time goal scorer. I think I'm like second when it comes to assists. I've got so many different type of accolades. First player to score at the London Stadium. One of the last people to score at the Bowling Ground. There's just so many things I've managed to tally up, all these accolades that I've managed to get in my time there. So I've loved every moment of it, and hopefully I can keep doing it for a long time.
West Ham is your home?
100%. London was where I was born, and majority of my football went up before I came to West Ham was mainly up north. Or I was in Reading, I was in Cheltenham, I was in Colchester, I was in Southampton. Like, there's so many different places that I've had to live and stuff like that, but West Ham brought me home.
Have there been moments you considered leaving West Ham?
Obviously, as a footballer, there's always moments there's been times where I've been linked to other places, there's been times where it's been close for me to leave. But it didn't happen, and I'm happy I'm still there.
So what were those things that made you consider moving away from?
Every player wants to play. If a manager comes in and says that you're not their cup of tea, that you're not their player, you're not their flavour, then you have to look for other options. And the type of football that I play, some people don't like it, some people do, some people love it. It's all about opinions, end of the day. So if someone comes in and says they don't want me to play for them, they don't believe that I'm their type of player, then I'm going to have to look for someone that does believe that I'm their type of player. And luckily, over the last 10 years, every single manager that's come in and said I'm not the type of player, end of the day, I've ended up having to use me.
The last 10 years? That's crazy. But which manager would you say has made you really feel wanting to play for West Ham United? You've had so many managers.
So many managers. To be honest, I'm very likely going to have to say, I'll probably say David Moyes, especially the first time he came. He literally came in with like near relegation zone, and he just turned things around. Like, he came with some new type of energy, came in, he lifted the boys. That first time, definitely, he was unbelievable.
Wow. So what inspires you, what motivates you, not just at West Ham United, but in life generally? In
life, I'll say my kids. My kids motivate me.
How many do you have?
I have 6.
6 kids?
Yeah.
Wow. At 34, you have 6 kids?
Yes, I do.
You don't only strike on the pitch, you strike in the bedroom. God.
Yeah, so
you don't only strike on the pitch, you strike so well in the bedroom as well.
Basically, my kids motivate me because all I want to do is give them a better life than I had. And obviously, me being a professional footballer, I've already started doing that, but it makes me just want to keep giving, and that kind of motivates me to keep going, keep pushing. And especially since kids ain't cheap, so that's another reason why I gotta keep going.
If you weren't playing football, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't playing football, I'd more than likely be like a PE teacher or accountant. Those are the things I was looking to do before I became professional.
Those were the things that were in your mind. Why?
Yeah, because going to school, I love my PE teachers. They were the people that I always got along with, and they looked like they were always enjoying their lives. And I love doing sports. Like, I'm kind of good at all-round type of sports type of thing. So it was something that I always wanted to do. And then accountants, because I'm good with numbers, and I thought like it'll be a good job to do and make some all right money.
It will be out for me to move on this conversation to another space without talking about something many Ghanaians will be interested about. Your teammate, Mohamed Kudus.
Mm-hmm.
You have been with him. In fact, I've known him since 2015, 2016, when I was one of the few journalists. Tom Vernon, the founder of Right to Dream Academy, invited some selected journalists to his academy at Akusumbo.
Yes.
That was where I saw Mohamed Kudus, and within the last 4, 5, 6 years, he's one of those top talents in Ghana. You train with him daily. What sort of a player is he?
He's unbelievable. The guy, some of the tricks he does in training, some of the tricks he does in games, it's just, you can't get the ball off him. And the thing is, you know what he's going to do because you train with him week in, week out. You see him do it to other people and you're like, he's not going to do it to me. And then he does it to you. And then he does it to you. And you're like, Mo. Like the little one where he keeps like flicking the ball over you, little tricks, little dinks and stuff like that, little chops. Mo is quality, like very quality player, still young. So he's got a lot of football ahead of him and a very exciting future ahead of him.
You have been at West Ham United for 10 years. What are some of the tips you think he needs to succeed at West Ham?
Some of the tips is to be resilient. One thing with West Ham fans, they are
I see some West Ham United fans here.
They are relentless. Relentless. They are not forgiving. No, that's a lie. They are forgiving, but they get onto you very quickly. So it's being able to deal with the pressure of the fans because they expect a lot from you. But even though they expect a lot, they appreciate the minimum side of things.
Yeah,
it's quite crazy. So when you're at the bottom of the league, they'll turn out, they'll sing for you and stuff like that. When you're at the top of the league, you lose 2 on the bounce, they're booing you.
They are booing their own player.
It's crazy.
They've done that to you many times?
Many times. Many times. You're at the bottom, they're singing for you. At the top, they're booing you. But they're constantly, week in, week out, they're turning out for you.
Wow, that's an interesting one.
It's crazy.
There are many people who look at Mohamed Kudus and say, considering his talent, he's got what it takes to dominate world football and probably win African Footballer of the Year.
No, with his talent, 100%. Obviously, African Footballer of the Year. There's so many great potentials there. There's Aubameyang, there's Mo Salah, there's Mane, there's obviously Kudus. Yeah. So I honestly believe that he has the talent to do it. It's just obviously he needs the surrounding of his team to also help him to do it. And right now, Ghana is a quality team, and obviously had a quality past and a quality history. But right now, they're not doing as good as they feel like they should be doing. Yeah. So I feel for him to win that, I feel like him and Ghana, the team, has to do more for that to happen.
You mentioned one thing that caught my attention about West Ham fans. Sometimes they can be unforgiving by booing their very own players.
Yeah.
This kind of abuse, especially those that come from social media, how does it impact players negatively?
It's a difficult one because some players Some players are used to it, some players can avoid it, some players can't avoid it. Because social media is massive right now. Everyone kind of has Twitter, Instagram, wherever else there are others, TikTok. And some people can just be like, I'm just not going to go on it. But some people can't. Some people have to read it. Some people have to see what people have to say about them, because you like to see the good. But sometimes, looking for the good, you also see the bad. You can get 10,000 good comments, but that one bad comment will stand out, because obviously it's that one comment that's just going to stand out because it's completely different. It's people just starting to understand that, end of the day, footballers are humans and footballers have feelings. Whereas most people feel, because we're professional footballers, because we're making this amount of money, they feel like we should be numb to certain things. But end of the day, people are people and humans are humans.
He spoke about social media abuse being the reason why he got that red card against Spurs. I listened to him and I felt so bad, because he's a young man that I know quite well. And that's why I asked the question about how psychologically it affects the player. You are with him. How is he taking all of this?
Right now, to be honest, when you've got a red card and you know that you can't play for 4 or 5 weeks, there's no longer any type of pressure on yourself. Because when I was going through a bad time, it was turning out every week on a Saturday, every single week, knowing that you've got to be out there with the scrutiny, with the opinions and everything like that. That's what makes things difficult, constantly having to step out on that field, even when you don't feel good. So now he's got that opportunity where he's got that break where he can clear his mind. So he's been good, he's been all right. I've not seen any type of negativity towards him. He's been training well, he's been staying strong, he's been staying fit. And I feel when he's back and he gets the opportunity to play again, I think he's going to be raring to go.
Who is the greatest African footballer that you have played with in the Premier League?
Ooh. Greatest African player I've played with?
Because you've played with many.
Yes, I have.
Oh, the most difficult player you have.
Greatest African player I've played with?
That's quite a difficult question.
That is a very difficult question.
What makes it difficult? Okay, the opponent that you have met.
All right, the greatest opponent?
Yes.
That's easy. I'm going to have to say Salah. No, Mane. Mane, like, I feel was underappreciated at Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool actually understood the quality that he had, what he did for the team. Obviously, Salah was unbelievable, and he still is unbelievable, the amount of goals that he scored. But I just feel like what Mane actually did for the team, he brought everybody together, the goals, the assists, like the work rate. Mane, for me, at Liverpool was unbelievable.
Talk to me about playing for Jamaica. You had a call up to England, though you didn't play, then you switched nationality to Jamaica. Why? What influenced this decision? Why Jamaica, not England?
To be honest, when I was 22, I tried to play for Jamaica. The manager came to Sheffield Wednesday to speak to me, and he was like, "Oh, we want more players to turn out to Jamaica and blah, blah, blah." I was like, I would love to, because obviously my mum, I was very connected to Jamaica. My mum brought me to Jamaica from the day I was born till I was 14. So for 6 weeks, every 6 weeks holiday, from the school break, I went to Jamaica for the whole entire 6 weeks. So I was very connected to Jamaica. So it was somewhere where I wanted to represent. But then he came and watched my game, played Leeds. I had a nightmare of a game. I was terrible. But I honestly still felt like I should have been picked, because at those times I was playing in the Championship and he was calling up players in League 2, League 1 over me, whereas I was playing in the Championship for 3-4 years before that. So I feel like one game shouldn't have been the representation of how I played and the qualities that I had.
And you consider that quite unfair on you?
Yeah, 100%. But end of the day, I had the opportunity to play, to get called up to England, and it kind of put my name out there. Because obviously England's a massive team. England is represented worldwide.
Yeah.
They always in and around, get to the semi-finals and stuff like that. So the opportunity to even be in the 25-man squad for England was quality. I didn't get the opportunity, but I also got the opportunity to play for England, play for Jamaica, and I do not regret it in any way, shape or form, because I love every single moment that I put on that Jamaica shirt.